Hey, you want to see something creepy? Welcome to the behind the scenes video for Childhood Sins, a Halloween short that me and AirbornTyler released on Halloween. I didn't have to say Halloween 2 times earlier, or 3 times for that matter, but I just said that. I don't care. It's No Non-Video November, and you know what that means. I gotta come up with as many ideas as possible for every single day of November to post a video daily for every single day of No Non-Video November. I'll be speaking redundantly nowadays, because that is my skill as a public speaker, if you could call this public speaking. In today's video, I not only wanted to talk about the process of making Childhood Sins, but also the story behind it, as well as some anecdotes that might be relevant to the main themes. Just so you know, this video is probably going to be longer than the actual short itself, so I don't know what that means. Hopefully you can enjoy all the same. On video projects like these, you can't be out here spending willy-nilly on props and makeup and costumes and all that. What we did was we went to Walmart to get a mask for our monster, and we decided on 2. The first one was a generic smiley face mask that costs $6.50, including taxes. And we just drew on it with Expo markers that we already had at the house. And I gotta say, it turned out pretty well. Not only could we customize the smiley face mask with the Expo markers, drawing our own designs on it, but in doing so, it also gave it its personality. We also bought this terror tot mask just in case we weren't feeling the smiley mask, though thank goodness we didn't go with it because the hair was disgusting. It's not even that creepy, it's just... if you touch it with your fingers, you'll know what I'm talking about. And for the monster's cloak, you can already tell. It's just a black bedsheet. We left the tag on it. So those 2 masks were really the only things that we bought for the video. Everything else was already owned by me or borrowed from my parents. The professional camera and tripod that we used to film was actually my dad's, since he's a photographer. But honestly, we could have probably just used our phones to do it. We mainly just wanted our shots to be stabilized. The magazines, the toy cars, the video games, all of them came straight from my childhood. Which leads me to these clever segments. At age 10, I received a stack of Nickelodeon magazines from my dad as a gift. And wouldn't you know it? Pretty awesome gift. It had video game advertisements, it had events that were pinnacle in Nickelodeon's TV history, like SpongeBob SquarePants movie. That was a pretty good movie. There was also the Jimmy Neutron, Timmy Turner Power Hour. 1 and 2. I think there was 2. But anyways, I just enjoyed flicking through those since I was born in the year 2000. I was born when Nickelodeon was already midway through its life cycle. Before the internet really took over and made magazines kind of obsolete. It was like a time capsule. I could just experience the mid-2000s as a 10-year-old rather than a little baby trying to make its first steps, you know? That was somewhat magical. And I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna ruin it for myself when I'm older and wiser, and I'm just going to cut out huge pieces of the pages out so that I can just tape them into another college ruled notebook journal. I was definitely heavy on organizing information. I really wanted to have all of the video game ads from the Nickelodeon magazines in one specific notebook so that I can flip through them individually and be like, wow, Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg for GameCube. I'll probably never play that, but like, that looks fun. I would cut pages out, paste them in other journals. I would cut specific comics out and glue them to my wall. Not tape, glue. And not with the disappearing purple glue sticks either. It was actually with bottles with the white paste. I just let it drip all the way down the wall until my dad yelled at me. So I was a selectively smart kid, okay? Now, let me tell you that. I wish I didn't do those things that I did back then, because not only is Nickelodeon magazines worth a lot, you could sell some issues for $13 now. It's now worth a lot It's now worth a lot in sentimentality. I would sure love to flick through those again, like unaltered, so that I can feel like I was 10 years old again, time traveling back when I was a baby, but like not de-aging as a baby, since I would still be 10 years old, but now I'm 23 years old. If I hadn't mentioned this before, I was a pretty weird kid back then. Like, I had this inkling in my brain that Hot Wheels can be worth a lot of money, specifically mint condition, because I knew that people collected them. They would have shelves full of them in the boxes. I kind of wanted to be like them, but at the same time, I wanted to play with those cars too, you know, like a normal person would. So, what I had in mind was a genius idea. I would take the cars out of the box, but keep the packaging without like the plastic container that the car was in. I would keep the art intact. Then I would just tape them into one of those college ruled notebook journals that I was talking about earlier. I'm not really regretful of that. That I would just say that's a pretty weird thing that I did. One thing that I'm not particularly proud of is that I would mix Play-Doh with my Hot Wheels cars, specifically one. And one time, I let it dry. And you're not supposed to let Play-Doh dry with your other toys, because that gets crusty. You don't want your toys
to get crusty.
Considering that my number one hobby as a 23-year-old is video games, I'm pretty regretful with how I handled my video games as a child. I would lose manuals. I would just leave discs out of their cases. One time, I even stepped on one with my bare feet. My feet were fine, but the disc was not. It split in two, actually. And it was Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 for the PS2. I actually liked that game as well. Another thing that I regret is selling my video games, specifically when I would like to buy another one, because I would have the habit of selling really good games like Sly Cooper and stuff because I was bored of them, and then I would realize later I would like to play them again because they were really good. If I could turn back time and prevent myself from doing these things, I would probably be richer, because not only would I be able to resell those games if I wanted to, which I'm a collector. Alright, I keep those things. I wouldn't have to buy the same games over and over. I also lost a PSP and a Game Boy. If I had those today, I would definitely find a way to stream on those, and that would be awesome. But I don't, because I think I sold them. My brother Jim got me a present for it, which he didn't know that I didn't have it in my possession anymore. Yeah, he was not happy to find out that I lost it, since it was originally his in the first place. Yeah.
Harder! Harder! You know what? Breathe. Breathe. That's some rage aggression coming out there.
Some rage aggression.
Man. Oh, yeah. I think that works.
They can just see your butt. That's cool.
That's not smart. Okay. I would not put your hand there.
Well, I mean, some people are not smart.
Dented. Oh. Okay, I think that works.
So, moral of the story. Yeah, that's a pretty good moral.